Christmas, a time to roast chestnuts on an open fire, build a frosty snowman, and jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Feliz Navidad. But if there's something that Christmas spawns more of than kitschy gifts for people you don't know well enough to get them real presents, but care for enough that you want to get them something, it's movies. Everyone has a favorite Christmas movie. Old ones, new ones that only vaguely qualify because they merely take place during Christmas. But I'd like to, if I may, share what I think is definitively the greatest Christmas movie ever. Tokyo Godfathers, co-written and directed by the infinitely talented Satoshi Kon, who has sadly passed on. That rhymed. Should I be rhyming about this? Tokyo Godfathers is about three homeless outcasts, perpetual drunk Jin, trans woman Hana, and teenage runaway Miyuki, who are digging through the trash one Christmas when they find, of all things, a baby. A baby that's been seemingly abandoned by its parents. And, if you remember, all this Christmas what's-it is actually around in the first place because of, you guessed it, a baby. Coincidence? No, it's not. It's actually quite intentional. And quite intentional coincidences may, oddly, be the lifeblood of this film. They happen rapid fire throughout the movie, a missed paint can, avoided death, and so many chance encounters. But, you may ask, what does all this have to do with Christmas? Good question. If there's one thing that's associated with Christmas more than anything else, it's family. And though Jin, Hana, and Miyuki aren't blood-related, they are definitely a family, with all the bickering and disagreements that come with it, but also with all the love and self-sacrifice. At a base level, I love this movie because I loved them. They live in circumstances that most people have nightmares about. They literally dig through the garbage for food and live in a cardboard box, but they have each other. They have a care for each other that leads them all over Tokyo, from graveyards to playgrounds to, and I'm not kidding about this is in the movie, the wedding of a Yakuza boss's daughter. And while a regular family is connected by common ancestry, these three, it seems, are related through common pain. You see, just like little Kyoko, that's what they named the baby. All three of our heroes are victims of abandonment. But unlike little Kyoko, Jin, Hana, and Miyuki's exile is self-imposed. They all ran away from their families because they wronged them in some way, racking up gambling debts, attacking a customer at her mother's bar, stabbing her father. Sure, from the outside looking in, they all wronged their families to varying degrees, but to all three of them, what they did was unforgivable. They were acts of selfishness, vanity, insecurity, acts they'd rather forget about than take responsibility for, and in so doing, cut themselves off from everyone they loved. And so they're all carrying with them all this extra weight, and all they can do is support each other so that together, that burden doesn't seem so crushing. But then they find Kyoko, an extraordinary infant that sparks a journey that sees all three of them face their past mistakes. But, you may again interject, doesn't this all seem a bit, too easy? Sure, the film is more of a fairy tale than a grounded drama, but doesn't having all their problems solved by some magic baby defeat the point of having the problem in the first place? Doesn't it just cheapen the journey? Wow, how very astute of you. I'm proud. An inquisitive mind is one that shines, I always say. Anyway, you may already be thinking the term that I'm about to messily define, but there is a concept in literature known as deus ex machina. It comes from Greek, where lazy writers didn't know how to solve a mess they made, so they had a god literally lower from the heavens and just solve the problem. And while the term is often associated with bad writing, and often it is just that, there are cases where this is not the case. Because here's the thing. At times, the various instances of Deus Ex Machina stage amazing jokes. At others, they get our heroes into trouble. And still at others, they offer just a temporary reprieve from some small problem. And sometimes they do all three of these things. I will again point to the Yakuza wedding I mentioned earlier. But the key is that they never solve any of the fundamental conflicts our characters face. They don't make our characters happy. They don't take them off the streets. Far from it. They drag all three of them kicking and screaming closer to the problems they've been trying to run away from. Surprise! You're now face to face with a person you've wronged. You're suddenly forced to acknowledge your greatest source of guilt, and there's nothing you can do but try to explain and hope that they forgive you. But don't worry, because Christmas is all about hope and forgiveness. In the most wonderful, unexpected, and earnest way, Tokyo Godfathers shows us the true meaning of Christmas. The miraculous discovery of an abandoned baby is the first of a string of miracles that are woven throughout the film. A missed paint can, avoided death, and so many long awaited reunions. It takes three broken, beautiful, lost people and shows them that you are not your mistakes, and that it's never too late to say you're sorry. More importantly, it shows them, and us, the power and importance of family. It doesn't matter if it's the family you're born with or, as the title implies, the family you choose, or who choose you. Tokyo Godfathers understands how crucial the other people in our lives are, and how miraculous it is to share the holidays with them. Thank you.